Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Views from the Press Box. I am Simon Short. Thank you all so much for being here. Uh, Welcome to the Box Score Network YouTube channel. If this is your first time, please subscribe. Comment on the video with your thoughts on Ty Simpson, with future players that you want to see film rooms on, anything else draft related or content related that you want to see or discuss with us. We would love to hear and interact from you guys. So thank you all so much for being here. This is the second installment of Views from the Press Box. You can find these film rooms. You can find additional player profiles from Pro Football Enterprises, Ben, Austin, Shane, all over this channel. So if you're already ready for the 2026 NFL Draft, you want content, you want to get in there every single week and talk about and think about players in the draft, and then see further discussion about the draft, team-based things, draft process, draft identity-based things. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we're going to have you covered for all things draft content through the 2026 NFL Draft. But thank you all so much for being here. So, this is the film room for Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. Back in August, Ben and I did a deep dive, kind of previewing the college quarterback landscape for the 2026 draft. And obviously, things have changed drastically since then. So, one of the big risers to the top of the boards, the top of the mocks, is Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Not a lot of experience, not a lot of starts, but a guy that has quickly risen the ranks, and I wanted to get in and do a little film room on. So before I go through the clips with you guys, just a very brief synopsis of what I'm seeing. I watched 3 games from Simpson so far this year. I watched the Florida State game, so I got to watch the very first game, his very first start, and then the Vanderbilt and Georgia games, kind of both in the middle of the season. And what I saw was what I would expect a track of a guy that had never started before, displaying all the skills that I think Simpson has. And I saw a very clear line between what he looked like at Florida against Florida State and then what he looked at like against Georgia and Vanderbilt. So just taking him at his highest, right, in those 2 games in the middle of the season. He is a slightly undersized quarterback listed at 6'2", I think like 208. He's probably like 6'1", 200 pounds at best at that point. But decent athleticism and pretty good accuracy. He has a good arm, I would say in that 20 to 25 yard range. He can hit the deep out routes, hole shots, slant sticks, zip accuracy on all those balls. He has most of the throws that you would want in a toolbox to run different kind of offenses, be able to call different types of plays. So you're not limited in what you can call with Simpson. Where I do think he is going to be limited is just that overall size and athleticism. So that some of that playmaking, some of that escapability, some of that razzle dazzle, right? It isn't going to be there with those limitations. But he has a lot of other things going for him, which I do really like. He has pretty good footwork in the pocket. Not the best pocket awareness overall. I do think the NFL athleticism will limit what he does in there, at least as he stands right now. Like I said, his footwork is good. His like he doesn't drift too far. He doesn't kind of meander to one side or the other. Like he's very clean and precise in his movement, but I don't think he's always as aware as I would like him to be of the pass rush around him, especially when he tries to escape and do things. We'll talk about it. I have a couple plays to talk about that on later. That's something I think he'll need to improve on if he's not going to be that overwhelming athlete, just that overall awareness in the pocket, have that sixth sense of where all the rushers are and where he can move away from them. But good accuracy and timing on throws on the move, over the middle, all that good stuff. And he can hit the deep ball. It's not his best throw, but he has the arm to do it, and not always the accuracy, but he has the arm to do it. So he's not very limited in the throws he can make and the types of concepts you can run, which is really, really important in today's NFL. You have to be able to be multiple in the NFL, and he can certainly do that. So let's go ahead and let's just dive right into the clips here. So I have about 13 plays here that I think is going to show who Ty Simpson is as a quarterback. The first handful of plays are going to be his ability to throw over the middle. The next handful of plays, he's got some stuff working to the sideline, which is pretty cool, especially some of the mobility and playmaking stuff. And then we'll finally get into some of the deep ball stuff. So here we are. Very first play. Let's get this thing rolling here. So this first play, he's in shotgun, and his receiver, number 2 from the right, is going to run a short in route here. right over the middle. And this was a good play because Ty is going to let the clear out happen from the other receivers. Everybody's kind of running crosses and running outs and just kind of clearing way of the linebackers and other corners. It's about a 10-yard route, and Simpson is able to rifle it in with really good zip, good accuracy based on the window that's created. So we're going to see it from the end zone view again here. Guys are running, guys are running. One, two, three. Boom. He's got it out to the next guy. So on this next play, he's going to be working from under center, and he's going to hit his receiver off the line on a deeper dig route. So this one's a good one because Simpson checks the defense pre-snap, play action, still manages to find the perfect window as the defenders move around. So watch, you'll be able to get a good view from here how this window opens up off the play action. So again, he's checking pre-snap too. I want you to see that he checks pre-snap what's going on because he's going to turn his back play action, and then he's got these three defenders right there in the middle of the field, and he's still going to be able to hit that dig right when it opens in the middle. Boom, gets him. Big first down, big play there. Next, we're back in shotgun. We have trips left. The point man is number 81. He's going to run kind of a slant here. Again, just good timing and accuracy. But watching this next view again, how Simpson opens this thing up. All right, so or he's in shotgun. Do you see that pivot to the right? He moves that linebacker. He gets that linebacker out of his window that he wants here. You can kind of see here, boom, looks right, looks back left, but that moves the linebacker out of his way. We're gonna see it again right here, and the motion helps. The motion helps, but boom, he looks right, moves that linebacker, opens up that slant over the middle like that. Here we're in shotgun, and we're gonna have a deep, deep dig. Number one at the top of the screen is gonna find a window. Simpson's gonna hit him on a perfect spot in between defenders over a linebacker. Just really good placement on these deep dig routes, which is a really big and important route to run at the NFL level. You want to be able to hit over the middle deep shots, and that dig route is a good way to do it. Next, we're going to start working on some stuff to the outside. And what's cool about these plays is these next two plays are trying to get first downs. We're on third down. We're in a couple different scenarios, but we're running similar things, and it's about ball placement here. So next we have a third down, shotgun, trips left. I mentioned the down because these specific routes, like I said, the ball has to go in a certain place to get that first down yardage that we're looking for. So here we've seen him, he's working to that inside most receiver, runs the out. And he's going to put that ball right here on his chest. And that's good old Ryan Williams there. Puts the ball right on his chest so Williams can get up the middle, get up the field here between those two defenders. Any more to the outside, and that corner was out there, he wouldn't have been able to get that extra yard or two. You can see him a little here. That guy who's going down to the ground. If that ball had been further outside, had carried Williams up the sideline, up towards the sideline there, that defender's there. But good ball placement lets him cut back up the middle. So that was cool. Similar play here. We're going to end up working with three receivers on the left side. We're in shotgun. It's a little bit further of a third down. I think this was like a 3rd and 8. But there's more room out here. Look at Williams out here. He's this far guy, kind of, if you look at where the 10-yard line is, he's the furthest back. And Simpson's going to put this ball out in front of him. Plenty of space. No defenders in the way. Lets him run through the catch and get the first down. So 3 receivers to the left side on third down, needing to get a first down. Ball gets put in 2 different places based on where the defenders are. So I like the way that that 2-play sequence kind of worked out. And this one is going to be a nice little out route here. And we're working towards the sideline more on these plays, like actually breaking to the sideline. So number 5 here at the bottom of your screen is going to run an out route. He's going to get the ball right on the sideline. And this was a good play because that was a kind of a further out route to make, especially because Ty is kind of going to the other way, and he's looking the other way at first too. So he gets that timing down and that zip on the ball with enough time for that receiver to get his foot down. So that's a good out route here. Next, we're adding a little bit of movement in. We're going to scramble out to the right side, kind of escape, get past the defensive end. And we're working with number 5 again, who just kind of sees that, hey, we just need to go make a play. We get to the sideline. Good timing here, good escapability without doing too much. But on the move throw, good accuracy too. Right there, gets this guy a chance to catch it. So that's a good play. Moving to his right, getting that ball to the sideline. Here, we are going to have a short roll off a play action under center, down in the red zone. and we're going to work through some trash. We're going to stop on that short roll and find our guy in the back of the end zone. That's a good play because sometimes it's easy for a quarterback to be carried to the sideline and kind of just see that cone of vision, right? That field of vision right there into the pylon, into the corners of the end zone. I don't know if it's designed this way for them, like, hey, this is going to be a short roll, so we're going to break up to the middle, or if this was just tying his receiver and making a play. But that's a good opportunity. Short roll, get those feet under you. Don't stop. It's kind of like when you're a shooter in basketball. Like if you're coming off of a screen, you still have to be, and it's a catch and shoot. You still have to be able to go straight up and down for your shot. You don't want to drift too far. So Ty does a good job getting his feet under him here. Boom, working that ball over those defenders. I like that play. Next two plays show some good college level playmaking, but this is what I was talking about. I'm not sure how this will work in the NFL. So here he brings the ball down and he spins out of the pocket. Let's look at it a little bit again. We start in the shotgun, snap the ball, drop back, get to the back of our drop. Don't see anything yet. We look to the right. We're looking in the flat. I don't know if it's the defender way back here that's getting him. I don't know if he doesn't feel like he has enough room here. We'll see it on the next view. But he spins out of that. Now, that was kind of a blind spin. I thought he got a little lucky there with that. But he ends up getting out of the pressure, makes a good play, is able to get a first down here. Let's look at it again. I want to look one more time. Let's see if we can figure out what we think happened. He's looking. He goes to look right. He pulls it down. I mean, the defensive end did get his hand up, so maybe that's just he wanted to avoid any kind of turnover, but he just spins out of that. I don't love that, Dan Fo. I don't love spinning out of the pocket unless you got a guy like right on your back and you're escaping the pressure. Here, same thing. It's going to be based on some athleticism. We're going to drop back. We're going to do a little fake. Boom. We're going to go to the right. We have a defensive end chasing us. We stop on a dime, cut back the other way, get past them. This one I don't mind as much. This like short area agility, everything's in front of you. You're making a play. I don't mind that. It's when you turn your back that I don't like. But here we see a nice play, extend the play. I do think an NFL defensive end, NFL edge rusher is going to just be able to make that tackle. He's just going to reach longer arms, bigger, faster, stronger. Is going to be able to, I can see him getting tackled with one arm. Again, 6'1", 200 pounds, probably listed 6'2", 208. But that I prefer that play, and I think that's more replicable for Simpson at the next level than the previous play where he spins out. Um, and then these next two plays, we just get some deeper shots down the sideline. This is a nice little 20-yard hole shot right up the right sideline. There's some good zip on it. You didn't need a lot of lift on it. He needed to drop that between the safety and the corner, so that's just a good on the line hole shot right here to the right side. Boom, good. Gets his feet down. And this next play, this is going to be a deeper ball. This one's going to end up going about 55 yards. Same thing. It's going to be up the right sideline. Gets to his drop. Not a huge drop and doesn't, he's got a good arm, man. This ends up going about 55 air yards. Now, here's the thing that's different about this deep shot than some of the other ones on his film is there's no safety over the top of this. So he didn't have to worry about putting it in a specific place. The safety's out of the way. Receiver's already past the corner. The corner's trying to catch up. So he can put this ball out in front of his guy a little bit, and that gives him a little more room to work with. That was the main thing I would say. The deep shots, especially kind of more in the middle of the field, where he's more worried about the placement and avoiding defenders and safeties, the accuracy wasn't as great, which is, it's not rare. It's not like that's something that's unique to Simpson. So I'm not completely worried about it. But being the size he is, like he doesn't have the biggest, most natural arm, but that doesn't mean he can't hit the deep shots. He needs to get more accurate with it, and that'll come from more experience and knowing what his arm can get away with and knowing who his receivers are and what they can do. I think overall, I mentioned the pocket stuff. I'm a little nervous about the pocket awareness and pocket feel is one of my big bugaboos, but I think he can make all the throws. I think he's athletic enough to make plays. It's still early in the process. At the end of the day, I like to try to say, like, actually put a stamp on it too. Like, I would take him in the first round probably. I don't know if I'm taking him number one. Don't know if I'm taking him in the top five. Don't know if I'm trading up to go get this guy. Um, Anecdotally, I know the guys that Ben and I covered early in the season, like Klubnik, Aller, Nussmeier. Those guys have dropped into like day two projections right now. I haven't gone back and watched myself, so I can't say for sure. I know, like Klubnik, for example. It's like okay, his pocket stuff, right? Like, how's he doing? Is he getting out too quick? But I would at this point, before going back and watching how those guys have been the second half of the season, would rather take one of those guys day two than take Simpson early day one necessarily, or trading up to get Simpson in the first round. But I think I'd be comfortable taking him in the first round. It depends on your team, the situation, the coaching. Like, what are you going to ask him to do? Um, but I like a lot of the traits here. I like a lot of the throws he can make, the level of athleticism, and the awareness and the IQ stuff I'm seeing. It's really hard to suss that stuff out on film, but I do think he has enough of that. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty good with it. People that want to put him in the mocks in the top 10 and stuff, I'm cool with. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the film room. So again, this is Views from the Press Box. I am Simon. This is Box Score Network. Again, if this is your first time stopping by, welcome. Thank you for watching this. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. We want to hear from you. Let me know who you want to see next. Probably gonna do a couple QBs here between now and the rest of the calendar year. So be on the lookout for that. Ben and his crew, Pro Football Enterprises, has player profiles going up as well. Just give a quick little plug since we're here on Box Score Network. These are all the pods for Box Score Network as well. We're a network of podcasts, not just this YouTube channel. So you can check out these audio podcasts as well. In the meantime, thank you so much again for being here, and we will talk to you again soon. Have a good one.